First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions. Two teams more than ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Ford Field. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Again, it's Harris on second down. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
They run for it with Harris. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are on the board first here this afternoon. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Steelers 7, Lions nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers to about the 33-yard line.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing, Jones. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's good for the Lions. First and 10 at the 47.
They'll run on first down with Akers. Down to about the 45. The Lions at 12-4 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
11 yards there and a Lion first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. DeMarvin Leal, the man making the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
The Steelers' 35-yard line.
Now Jones. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 13-yard line. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by a Keller Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Steelers 7, Lions nothing.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Throw left side going to be taken in by Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14, Lions nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And some room to work. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Going right back to Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Here's Jones on third down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Patterson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. One down.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kirby Joseph with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away. Take it at the 37. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Jones. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. From 21 yards away. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Carr. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And this throw will be intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Jones throwing to start the drive. And this one is incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones flushed out right. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. There he goes, left side. The 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Lions.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same.
He's got a man complete. 20, 10. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 72 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Harris is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball a 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to...
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point try now for Patterson. Lead is up to 18 now. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run again with Harris. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On play action, it's Carr. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They hand this off to Harris. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Steelers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Jet sweep. Here's Pickens with it. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aiden Hutchinson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll go again here with Akers. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll give this to Akers running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Off the option, here's Akers. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
173 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
Well, partner, this drive has been a model of efficiency. They've done everything they've wanted to. And the defensive guys, they've got to be getting frustrated. They can't figure out how to get off the field.
Off the option, here's Akers. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips. They're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are...
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Cam Akers hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Patterson now for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On first down, Carr. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll go down at the 28. 45 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
One down. 1 2.
On play action, now Carr. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 28 yards. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now Carr. Steps away to his left. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return is Cohen. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Carr to throw. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Jeff Okudah, and the Lions are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Lions, they earn one final victory and finish the regular season at 13-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they will indeed limp to the finish line, unfortunately, as they close out a 6-11 campaign.